Guten Morgen, Heiliger. I'm quoting Einstein today, so I'm brushing up on my limited Austrian German. So before the apostasy and the apocalypse, let's talk about anthropocentric soteriology, man's salvation granted to man by man. It's the worst type of thinking. Born in the age of modernism, which science was defined as the ocean of knowledge that delivered sailing ships of wisdom to a utopian paradise of blissfully empathetic cosmological achievement. Science saves the world, therefore science is our salvation. But with the death of modernism comes postmodernism, saying, I understand your science, but it's not going to save us. And that is a most frightening proposition for the man without God. There was a hope in a modern world, ending around the time NASA took flight to the moon, but after that belief dwindled away, so did man's chance at his self-proclaimed salvation. This modern thinking is all actually ancient, well, 500 years old at least. Newton, Copernicus, Sir Francis Bacon, these men of the alchemical Gnostic prognosticators who didn't even believe their own nonsense, as recently as Einstein, who said of his theory of gravity, writing to his friend Max Born, together with a young collaborator, I arrived at the interesting result that gravitational waves do not exist, though they have been assumed a certainty to the first approximation. And now Neil deGrasse Tyson, who didn't even get his PhD, was studying for at the University of Texas, had to go elsewhere for that qualification. Obviously, rather than take responsibility for his academic lack of performance, Tyson blamed racism. In reality, Tyson was playing in bands and appearing on stage instead of completing essays. Typical science PhD students are studying, sleeping, or teaching, yet this master of the astrospace vernacular was more intrigued with Hollywood. So what does God have to say about these alchemists, these men of illusionary wonder and imaginary achievement? Ecclesiastes 1:13-17 out of the ESV. And I applied my heart to seek and to search out by wisdom all that is done under heaven. It is an unhappy business that God has given to the children of man to be busy with. I have seen everything that is done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and a striving after the wind. What is crooked cannot be made straight, and what is lacking cannot be counted. I said in my heart, I have acquired great wisdom, surpassing all who were over Jerusalem before me, and my heart has had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And I applied my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is but a striving after wind. Amen. The truth of the matter is, science is simply the explanation of the things that God made. No more, no less. God's realm doesn't spin, it isn't a ball. Water doesn't bend, and there is no curve. For science should have told you that there are no straight lines on a sphere, but they forgot. And teachers should have taught you the Earth curvature equation, but they didn't, and they won't. So now we're right back to the beginning, where God created the heavens and the earth. First book, first chapter, first line, Bible. And that's reality.